Welcome YouTube, and thanks for stopping by our channel. If you're new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe because we have a wealth of information for you on educating you how to get started in buying, investing, and selling domain names. So without further ado, let's get straight to the video. Stay tuned.
I guess I'd like to start off by saying there was a time in my life where I had a job, or not just one job, but quite a few jobs that I could not stand. And ever since those days, I always tried to find something to supplement my income, because it's just like this guy you see in this picture here. There's nothing like going to a job where you say to yourself on your way to work, you say, I hate my effing job. I mean, you know the word I really want to say, but by this being on YouTube, I choose not to use profanity. But anyway, and I'm sure many of you out there in my listening audience that listen to my videos and watch my videos also have had jobs where you just say, I can't stand this job, I can't stand this boss. There's certain employees that I can't stand either. So of course that's not what this video is about, but I'd like to use that as a reference to why you should try to find other things to invest in, because that's exactly what I was gonna do. I said, I'm gonna try to find something else to invest in, because you know, I mean, I gotta work this job now, but I gotta do something better to kind of give me some income that's independent of this job, in case I lost this job or this crappy boss I have want to get rid of me or anything like that. So that's why I got into domain name investing, and by this channel being or the videos that's on this channel, at least up until this point, is mostly for newbies or people that are new to this domain investing and buying and selling domains on the internet. That's what this video is mostly geared to as well. So since we're starting at that point, for people who are beginners, let's start it off with what are domain names and why should you invest in them? And I guess the best way to explain that is we've got to go back to the early days of the internet, when before the internet really got to be what it is today, where we all know what it is. They used, instead of using domain names, they use what is called IP addresses. I'm sure many of you have heard of IP addresses. IP addresses actually was a series of numbers that was used that people had to type in, just like when you type a domain name in the web browser. Back in those days, they had to type in a series of numbers that took you to a specific site. So what happened was it got so confusing, people trying to remember all these random numbers, so they had to create something called DNS, which means domain name system. And what the DNS did was it actually solved the problem of people trying to remember all these numbers. So instead of you typing numbers, now you type in a domain address, and it actually like takes the place of that IP address. So the IP address, it don't mean it doesn't exist. It's just a domain name that you can easily remember, like Google or whatever, Yahoo or whatever. It takes you to the IP address, and you still can get on the website. So that's basically the way that, you know, actually occurred. Now, in the beginning of the World Wide Web, as where the public can actually access the World Wide Web, like in 1990 or the early 90s, business owners, they could now register their own domain names, and you know, for a website they had built, or usually in those days a lot of people didn't build their own websites, they had companies build them for them. So they can have that company register their domain name, and they can actually have their own website, which we all know of today, where you can go to their website and look and see what they have. Another thing is the reason why you should invest in one of the reasons, there are many reasons. It's a very profitable business, but one of the reasons is actually domain names are actually like online real estate. Actually, just like, it's very few people out there can actually afford to put a down payment on a piece of real estate for $30,000 or $40,000 or whatever the price might be for a down payment, for some income real estate. So domain names are really the same thing. It's just in the internet or virtual world. But the only difference, the main difference is it's so much cheaper and such a high profitable type of business to get into. So where, like I said, you would have to put thousands and thousands of dollars down for a piece of real estate and have that for an asset. The average domain name, even if it's a top level domain name like a .com, you can actually go to GoDaddy or Cedo, Flipper, I don't pronounce the name real good, Flipper, however you pronounce it. But anyway, you can go to one of those registrars and actually purchase a domain name for as little as $12. Now I know that sounds good to you. And it's like you actually own a piece of real estate, so that's excellent. Now here's the beauty of it. Over time, domain names can actually grow in value just like real estate grows in value. It also has to do with how you use the domain. I mean, a lot of people park domain names. They create a park page where you can click on it and earn a little money from the domain. It's not a lot, but it's just a few pennies. But the real way to make money off of it is like if you attach it to a website. Again, going back to the websites again, this is one of the best ways I found to make money off of domain names. When you attach your domain name to a website, and you have a lot of companies like GoDaddy, and you have Wix, where you can actually start a free website. Naturally, they're going to charge you for the hosting after you build the free website. They got to make their money. But still, even with that, it's still a very good investment. Very good investment, So once you attach your domain name, and like I said, this is the way I found best to make money with domain names and make them grow faster. Once you build your website, you can add to your website, which is called backlinks, meaning your website address. If you can get or email other people or contact other website owners that's in your niche, and make sure it's in your niche, because Google do not like websites that link to other websites that's not in their niche. So that's very, very important. So you really need to keep that in mind. But once you do that and you start to get backlinks to your website, your domain name that you build the website from actually grows in value. And just imagine, remember, you spent initially $12 for the domain name. That's all you spent. Now, if you continue to do this over time, let's say, hypothetically, let's say in 2, 3, 4, let's say even 5 years, you probably accumulated 100 links to your website. If it's going to take work, you put in the work and everything. But initially, remember, this is an investment. So initially, you invested $12. But if you can find the right type of buyer in that niche, by you're looking online and everything like that, finding people that may have a type of business that can buy your domain name, you can actually flip that domain name for probably $5,000-$10,000 or maybe even more. So that's why I said it's really a good investment. I mean, it's like anything else. I know a lot of people on YouTube say, you can just flip and flip and flip, but it's not always that easy. It takes work. But these videos that we post is for people that's willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work, you're gonna get the results. So that's something you actually, gotta commit yourself to.
So I guess I'll end on that note. Once again, if you like the video, please thumbs up, share this video, and subscribe, because I'm sure you might have friends or family that's trying to look for other ways to supplement their income. And domain investing and selling is one of the best ways that I know of. In fact, right now, at this point in my life, it is the best way that I know of. So I'm going to be going forward with mine, and I hope you guys have learned something from this. And please go to our YouTube channel, the main channel, and watch all the videos that we have, because we have a lot of videos with much more information on different areas that you can learn to buy and sell domains. Until then, we'll see you in the next educational video. Take care.